Hello everyone, and welcome to Hunter x Hunter Institute, the place for us Hunter x Hunter fans to discuss all things related to our favorite series. Despite being in the infamous group of thieves, Shizuku is well known in the fandom for her gentle atmosphere and tendency to be a natural airhead. A lot of fans also had not failed to notice her rather large front. We got to witness her awesome physical abilities during her battle with one of the Chimera Ant Officers, Pike. It just showed how impressive she is when it comes to battles. A lot of fans would also remember this fight for Shizuku suddenly throwing off her clothes the same time as she went to attack Pike. On today's hot seat is none other than Shizuku Murasaki. I'm sure a lot of you fans would be happy to have a detailed discussion about Shizuku's strengths and Nen abilities. Adding to this are two more topics a lot of you would be interested in. First off, the fan theory that Chrollo and Shizuku are actually siblings, with some of their physical features being relatively similar. Hasn't this theory ever crossed your mind? And second, a lot of fans think that Hisoka's next spider victim might end up being Shizuku. Oh no. We hope you're going to enjoy this discussion with us, so go grab your favorite snacks and get yourself ready. If this video made Shizuku one of your favorite characters, or if she is your favorite already, then make sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you're one of the fans wishing to see Shizuku in battle again in the Dark Continent arc, let us know in the comments. With that said, let's dive in. 1. Shizuku Murasaki. She's one of the members of the Phantom Troop. Her number is 8, and she's actually the newest among the Spider members. At first glance, one would think she's very calm and quiet, but as we all know, she's actually one of the thieves in the infamous troop. They're known not only for stealing, but also killing their enemies without showing any mercy. Even as a spider, she's diligent and active. Shizuku is able to make her own decisions and also follow orders given to her. On the other hand, she can be an airhead as well. When she forgets something, there's no hope of her ever remembering it again. Being a natural airhead, she ends up saying whatever it is on her mind without any filter. We see this during her conversation with Franklin back in chapter 93. Franklin was commending Yuvo for being stronger when he had someone to protect, which usually happened when he fought back to back with Nobunaga. Instead of agreeing, Shizuku commented how Yuvo got stronger when he had an intruder under his clutches. Shizuku, you could have given your former Mason plus points, but you chose to diss him. Yuvo must be rolling under his grave. 2. Nen Ability. Shizuku is a conjurer. Using her Nen, she materializes, of all things, a vacuum cleaner. It's not just any vacuum cleaner, it's a special one she named Blinky, and it sort of resembles a fish. Blinky would sometimes go gyo-gyo, which makes one think that Blinky might be a Nen beast, but this isn't the case since Nen beasts have the ability to act and move independently. But as far as we've seen in the series, Shizuku is always manually controlling Blinky. More than fighting the enemies, she plays the role as the supporter of the troop. One of her ways of supporting the Phantom Troop is by using Blinky to vacuum away the evidence from the crime that they commit. Evidence is like blood and corpses. Blinky has the ability of inhaling non-living objects regardless of its number. If it's not breathing, or if it's not made out of Nen, then leave it to Blinky to make it disappear. Thanks to this ability, the troop doesn't have to worry about leaving any evidence behind, which is very handy for them, don't you think? But there's more to Blinky than sucking in a bunch of non-living things. If somebody is poisoned, Blinky can remove the toxin from the body. When Yuvagan got poisoned by Leech from the Shadow Beasts, he ended up having difficulty moving. Although she wasn't able to remove the actual leeches, Shizuku helped Yuvagan by removing the poison flowing in Yuvo's blood. If you haven't seen it yet, go check out our video about Leech and the rest of the Shadow Beast members. Among the Phantom Troop members who can heal injuries, there's Machi, who can fix external injuries and wounds. There's also Shizuku, who can help the troop members when they end up having unwanted toxins in their body. Perhaps the group uses Machi's abilities for external injuries that need surgery, and Shizuku's abilities as substitute for internal medicine. With their abilities, the group has enough medical support. The fact that Blinky is not able to suck in anything that's made out of Nen might seem an inconvenience at first, but this is actually pretty useful. With this restriction, Shizuku can tell which are traps that have been made out of Nen. Quite smart, don't you think? While she had mentioned this advantage, we haven't really been able to see her use her ability in such a way. Hopefully we get the chance to see it in future chapters. 3. Strengths. Aside from sucking away crime evidence and toxins, Shizuku also uses Blinky to fight. In the York New City arc, Shizuku easily killed 2 of Neon's bodyguards using Blinky. She smashed Ivlenkov's head hard. The other bodyguards, Vase, tried to escape, but Shizuku quickly moved and smashed her from the back. Imagine being hit with a vacuum cleaner, but probably 10 times stronger. That must have hurt so bad. Now that they're technically non-living and just corpses, Shizuku could use Blinky to remove their bodies. We see Shizuku in action again in the Chimera Ant arc. This time she was in a one-on-one battle with Pike. The Chimera Ants' bodies are protected with very hard outer shell, and most attacks don't work against them. But Shizuku found her way to put heavy damage on Pike using her handy-dandy Blinky. Blinky can cause some serious damage with just one hit, but aside from killing her enemies by striking them, Shizuku can also use Blinky to suck blood from her enemies' wounds. Shizuku doesn't think that blood is a living thing, and so if it's just blood, then Blinky can easily suck it away, leaving her target drained. Just wounding Pike made Shizuku say, "Blinky and I win." She herself knows that her attack is quite deadly. With With all this considered, do you think that fighting using Blinky is enough to win over other enemies? While it does seem like it can cause heavy blows, I don't think that Blinky would be powerful enough if Shizuku goes into one-on-one battle with other Nen users. But what do you think? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section. 4. Chrollo and Shizuku are siblings. Is it possible that these two are actually brother and sister? Some of you might have seen this fan theory as well, so let's discuss it here. What made some fans think that they're siblings? Well, first off, both of them have similar physical attributes, most noticeably their black hair. Both of them also enjoy reading, and they both seem to have an affinity for upside-down crosses. But we all know that lots of people have black hair, and lots of people do enjoy reading, so just basing with these factors is not enough. Still, knowing how Togashi-sensei doesn't do his designs randomly, there's a high possibility that these two spiders were drawn similarly on purpose and that they are connected by the same hobby. Among the many members of the Phantom Troupe, why is it only Shizuku who has the upside down cross that seems to be Chrollo's trademark? Don't you think that there's a reason for this design? There's also how strong Shizuku's respect is toward their leader. Now some of you might say that the other members like Machi, Shalnark, and Pakunoda are also genuinely loyal towards Chrollo, but these guys have been with him since the beginning, whereas Shizuku had just recently joined the troupe. Do you think that aside from just being another member, there's a stronger connection for Shizuku to be so loyal to Chrollo? Do you think they're actually connected by blood? Dear fellow fans, let us know if you agree or disagree with this on your comments. It would be fun to see how many of us think they're siblings. 5. Hisoka's next victim is Shizuku. Now we all know that Hisoka is out on the hunt to kill all the members of the Phantom Troupe. Who do you think would be his next victim after Shalnark and Kordopi? A lot of fans seem to think that this would be Shizuku. How possible is this? Let's see the reasons why this would be the case. Reason 1. Chrollo's fortune. Going back to York New City arc, Chrollo stole Neon's lovely Ghost Rider and used it to predict the future of the troupe members. Remember how Shizuku herself said, "The next person to die is me." Now let's analyze the details of the lovely Ghost Rider. With it, the user can write down events that will occur within 4 weeks from the day the fortune gets written down on paper. This fortune is written in a 4-line poem. During that time, the Phantom Troupe took action to try and negate the effects of the fortune, so none of the members died within that 4-week period. Well, except for Yuvigan and Pakunoda ending up being killed with Kurapika's Nen ability. Because of this, they all thought that they managed to change the course of their destiny and escape death. Unfortunately for them, the timing of their death might have just been delayed. Both Shalnark and Kordopi met their ends at the hands of Hisoka. Going to volume 36 of the manga, there was a conversation between Chrollo and Shizuku that might have been an indirect way of telling us fans that Neon is dead. With Neon being the original owner of the lovely Ghost Rider, her death would mean that her Nen has gotten stronger. If her Nen got stronger, then the fortunes that the spiders might have escaped away from might have been reactivated. Right now, the remaining members of the Phantom Troupe are all gathered on the Black Whale, with the sole purpose of ending Hisoka's life after the fake spider killed Shalnark and Kordopi. Let's try to review the second half of Shizuku's fortune. You're forced in a long sleep in a storage filled with black items. More than anything, fear solitude. There's nothing scarier than being alone with someone. This is the part of the fortune that's probably indicating how Shizuku might die. Remember the black market stockroom on the Black Whale that Feitan, Nobunaga, and Finks visited? Don't you think that this might be the storage filled with black items on Shizuku's fortune? That black market warehouse might end up being the place where Shizuku might have her long sleep, and we all know what long sleep is referring to: her death. More than anything, fear solitude might mean that she shouldn't get separated from the other members of the troupe. And the last line, "There's nothing scarier than being alone with someone," might mean that it's not in her best interest to be by herself with someone else other than in the spider members. And that someone else is most likely to be Hisoka. To put it in simple words, this fortune might be saying that Shizuku will be killed by Hisoka when she is alone in the black market stockroom. Reason 2. Author himself announced their deaths. In his interview on Volume 0, the one about Kurapika's past, Togashi-sensei himself said, "All the members of the Phantom Troupe will die." A lot of fans didn't believe that he would do this, but now we witness the unfortunate fate of Shalnark and Kordopi. It seems like Togashi-sensei would be keeping his word about this. Reason 3. Hisoka is starting from the weakest members. Shalnark and Kordopi, Hisoka's first victims in the Phantom Troupe. Both of them are not the main fighters of the troupe and acted more like support in most of their missions. There's also the fact that the two of them were just near the vicinity after they themselves watched the battle between Hisoka and Chrollo, and at that time, they didn't have their Nen abilities because they lent them to Chrollo, which had them left unarmed and easy targets for Hisoka. Considering Hisoka's strength, killing Shalnark and Kordopi might have been a walk in the park. Following this logic, his next target would be the weakest member among the troupe, and who's that? Well, that's unfortunately Shizuku. Knowing how good he is when it comes to analyzing Nen abilities, Hisoka must be perfectly aware that Shizuku's Blinky won't be able to do anything to his bungee gum. It's easy to imagine how a one-on-one battle between Hisoka and Shizuku would unfold. Hisoka might be lurking around just waiting for the right timing, which is when Shizuku is alone by herself. Don't you think he's somewhere there on the Black Whale, getting all excited to kill Shizuku, and then continue on with the other members? If it's Shizuku, we might not really see a battle between them, but instead, she might end up getting killed instantly like Shaunark. So these are the 3 reasons why it's very possible that Hisoka's next victim will be Shizuku. But what do you think? Who among the spiders would end up being killed? Make sure to let us know in the comments section. A lot of fans love her for her cute appearance and her tendency to act like an airhead. Her assets are a good addition as well. If you're one of the Shizuku fans who don't want her to die, then you're already a part of the Hunter x Hunter Institute. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can join us on our future endeavors as we continue to explore all things related to Hunter x Hunter. That's all we have for now. Thank you for joining us in today's discussion. Let's have another fun video next time. See you, fellow Hunter x Hunter fans.